Hey guys, Fat Preacher Man here, and doing a review and unboxing and review of the Acer C7 Chromebook. Um, Here's the box, pretty simple, basic box, nice and small, compact. And here you actually see I'm opening it with my bastard sword I got from the Renaissance Festival a while back. And as you can see on the table, Bumble was watching. There he is in the background, and Nandy's coming over too. They want to see what's going on. Um, and we got the Acer because one of the family laptops died, um, and which is a good reason to do backups while we're waiting for me to get this open. Make sure you're backing up your stuff. Thankfully, it wasn't one of the ones that I have my work stuff on, but still, it hurts to lose any information. Anyway, so there's the tape open. They had to see a little security tape on the top, and right away, as soon as we get it open, you see that it is got Intel inside. Yay for Intel. Um, and it's in a little carry case. Acer Explore Beyond Limits. Okay, whatever that means. So let's take it out. Little white compact box, and like I said, it's the C7 Chromebook. And I don't know what I was thinking when I got this, but it is definitely not what I'm used to. I was just showing you here what it says on the outside of the box. It's nothing special. Just a disclaimer about the color of the Chromebook itself. Oh, yay, more security tape. So while I cut that open, I will keep talking about the Chromebook. I am used to regular laptops, specifically lately Dell's, and using Windows and even Windows 8, which I must say I don't like Windows 8. Windows 7 was okay, but Windows 8 I don't care for it. They're trying to all these apps and stuff. Just give me programs. I don't need apps. It's not my phone. Just give me programs. And I didn't realize that that's what the Acer C7 was all about. It's basically like a laptop, but you can't call anybody on it, and you're stuck using Chrome. Now, if you like Chrome, Chrome isn't a bad way to surf the internet. But all the other stuff I'm used to doing on a laptop, trying to figure out the apps and things of that nature, to be honest, were very confusing. And I am no, genius. I'm not super intelligent, but I've been around computers for a while and laptops, and it was just way too confusing, too difficult. For example, it automatically, once I got hooked up to the internet, it set up the date and started doing a download, which we'll see for an update. But the time was off, so I'm used to changing the time by clicking on it in the right hand corner, and that doesn't work in here. Oh yeah, they give you three sets of real quick. Sorry to interrupt. Three sets of instructions: one in French, one in English, and one in Netherlands language, whatever that is. But anyway, back to the time. It was just I had to actually go in the instruction book to get the time fixed. And you can't actually change the time, which I found ridiculous. You can only set the time zone. So I had to go in and figure out how to do that. And once I got it, the time is now basically correct, but it sets itself via the internet. So again, if you're looking for something to use at home, it's pretty useless without the internet. I was just right here. I was just testing out the keyboard itself. The functioning of the keys are pretty soft, quiet to the touch. It has a nice big touchpad. And here's a closer look at the screen. I hate that stupid shipping plastic, so I peel that off. But the keyboard itself is, just a basic cuter keyboard. You will notice some buttons missing if you're familiar with Windows buttons. Of course, the main one being the Windows button, which, funnily enough, as much as I use Windows, I never really use the Windows button. I always find other ways to do things. It wasn't until recent years I even actually touched it. But anyway, so getting this cleaned off, you notice that they ship the battery separate. The battery is the big hole in the back missing. So set that aside and finish going in the box, see what else they give you. And they give you just basic things like you get with any laptop nowadays. Here's the power cord. Now the power cord is interesting. It has a feature that I think is pretty cool. If you look at it here, you'll see there's something missing. I was like, what in the world? And it's because it's adjustable. You can either have it go lengthway, you can either have it go vertical or horizontal. And the little piece is adjustable. You put it in and you snap it in place. For example, here it will be vertical. And as you see, I'm struggling to try to adjust it. I thought about editing this out to hide my shame, but I left it so you can see that I'm a fool. But there's a little button right there you got to push. You push that in, and then you twist it. And voila, you big fat dummy, that's how it works. So then you put it back on, turning it just a bit, and now it's horizontal. So that's pretty cool because depending on, yeah, and Sugar BC, my wife, gave a thumbs up because she was mocking me, and it was pretty hilarious. I should have left her audio in. But, so that's pretty cool because it can go either way depending upon your plug situation and whether you, oh, they gave a little cleaning cloth, interrupting again. Gave a little cleaning cloth. I guess that's cool. You know, a 50-cent cleaning cloth. Book itself is pretty affordable. And here's the instructions I should have looked at before I messed with the plug. And then here's the instruction book, and then the next thing is the battery. But anyway, so depending upon your plug configuration, if you're just plugging it straight in the wall and you may have something else plugged in, or if your plug is kind of funny, like at my mother-in-law's house, the plug sits on the floor. It's on the baseboard, but it's sideways. And then, you know, some of us use power strips, and then, you know, always plugging that into the power strip can be a pain, which is why I believe most, you know, Dell laptops, for example, now their power cord, the tip of it is just a regular, the plug part just is a regular plug instead of that big clunky adapter, and they have that chunk in the middle, which is the you know, the power supply converter. Instead for this, and even on the a little Dell notebook that we have, the power converter is built in. So here's a close-up of one of the sides, and you can see starting at the back right there where my finger is now, there's the lock, so you can lock it down. You put in your lock and you can lock it to the table. There's where the power goes. Has 2 USB ports and then an audio jack, through, you know, the 3.5 millimeter audio jack. Flip it around on the other side, you got an Ethernet port, but it does have wireless, VGA port, HDMI port, and then another USB port. And then on the front, it has an SD card reader. So it has basic stuff. You know, again, there's no optical drive. It's too small for that. It is nice and light. It's pretty looking. But overall, I'll tell you right now, before we get any further in this, I don't like it. I'm kind of disappointed with it. If you're just going on YouTube, watching videos, maybe doing a little shopping, but you know, overall, I like to have programs. I like to be able to upload stuff. I don't know who thought it was a good idea to make things without an optical drive. Personally, I got to be able to download stuff and read DVDs, read CDs. So, you know, I guess for $199, this isn't bad. But overall, I like to have an optical drive, and I don't want to have an external optical drive. I just want it built in. So anyway, got the battery in, powering it up. Here it goes. There's Chrome. Yay, Chrome. And of course, it's silver, chromish looking. And there's the background. And it starts out with the basic questions. What language do you want? What keyboard style do you want? And then it automatically starts scanning for Wi-Fi. And it picked up my Wi-Fi. So, you know, I put in my web code. And we're ready to go. Continue. Basic stuff. Then, of course, it has the licensing agreements about the Chrome operating system. And then, like I said, once it connected, it's like, oh, wait a minute, you got to do an update, critical update. And that takes a little while, so I'm going to cut that out because that was pretty boring to watch. And you see it's almost done here. It's finalizing. So I cut about 10 minutes out, I think it was, of that. And now it's rebooting itself. Pretty straightforward. It's applying it, rebooting it. It's going to shut down, start back up, start down, start back up. I think it shut down and start back up twice, 3 times maybe. And there we go. Now we're ready to just look at a few of the things, play with it for a second. And I have had it now for about a week, so I'm not just telling you from the first night my feelings. This is a week of me and the family using it, me and my son, my wife, my daughters. Sign into your email. I signed into the same one I use for Chrome, and see, it will even let me use my FATPREACHERMAN one, which is right there if I wanted to, which is pretty cool because it accesses, you know, your Google information online. And then when it starts up, it gives you this little tutorial window, and it says, "Oh, get to know your apps. Welcome to your Chromebook." You know, again, the whole world, I guess, is moving towards applications, apps, printing from your Chromebook, editing photos, other things that they want you to do. You know, buy more, sync across your devices. That is interesting to me because I mentioned in other videos, Nicole and I, Sugar Beastie and I, we both have gingerbread phones, and they are actually synced together, which is pretty useful because if I add something to my calendar, it pops up on hers. If one of us, or same vice versa, if one of us adds a contact, it pops up in the other one, so that, you know. And again, that I think that's pretty cool. So it would be interesting to see how well that works across Chrome and Google for the Chromebook. But overall, you know, the lack of me being able to just go right into it and type stuff and listen to music. It can't even play WMAs. What in the world can't play? Sony's PS3 plays WMAs. You know, how can you not play WMAs? I'm sure there's an app for it, but just right out the box, if you try to put in some music onto it and listen to WMAs, it won't. It plays MP3s. Again, I went on YouTube to check that out to see how that worked. And, you know, because, you know, Google owns YouTube now, so it should work well with it. I went on here to see how to listen to music, and they talk about downloading a music manager, and that was just a confusing waste of time. They talk about converting your iTunes stuff, and iTunes is the devil. Don't buy iTunes. Editing photos, it's a basic photo app. Not too impressed with it. Printing, you got to print from. Oh, and this was interesting. They give you some tips on learning how the Google keyboard works, I guess you would say. And, you know, so these are some basic ones: the Control Alt and the question mark. They have a little magnifying glass. If you want to take a screenshot or take a partial screenshot, you know, you control on whatever that button is supposed to be right there. It has a link so you can look at more shortcuts from your keyboard. You can open up a new tab, and then once you started using it, it starts keeping track of your stuff. So like if I want to go back to the web store, which is where you get the apps, it's right there. And so we can look at some of the apps. And again, if you're familiar at all with the Gingerbread or the Google Play, then this will be familiar to you. It's nothing really fancy, nothing special. And the ones that you've already have, like already have YouTube, already have Google Search, Gmail, those will have the green check on it. The ones that you don't have a check. And then, you know, of course, they have some that are free, and then some that are ad supported. So the ones that are ad supported, even though they appear to be free, you're really paying for it through the ads. Thanks again for watching. Hope you, if you get one, like it. Jesus bless you, and good gaming.